Esther Cameron, Making Sense of Change Management, a complete guide to the models, tools, and techniques of organizational change. Welcome to the summary of Making Sense of Change Management, a complete guide to the models, tools, and techniques of organizational change by Esther Cameron. This comprehensive guide dives deep into the psychological aspects driving change and offers practical advice on navigating organizational shifts. Throughout this book, you will explore various psychological theories relevant to change, learn the importance of understanding individual personalities, and discover the role of teams in adapting to change. You will also examine different metaphors for organizations and how varying assumptions about change can impact leadership styles and strategic decision-making.
The psychology of change. Learning and change are cyclical processes that require managing anxieties to succeed. While people tend to be uncomfortable with change, two types of anxieties come into play: survival anxiety, which motivates change, and learning anxiety, which can inhibit it. Self-consciousness often accompanies the early stages of learning as individuals strive to master new skills and techniques. Eventually, unconscious competence takes over, ensuring their performance becomes more natural. However, facing a new situation means starting over, and the anxiety reruns, making individuals anxious or doubtful about their ability to learn and change. Overcoming learning anxiety is necessary to shift toward survival anxiety and commit to undergoing the necessary changes to thrive in a changing environment. Change requires recognizing the two anxieties and striving to manage them to enable lasting change to occur. The key is to understand how change works and to be prepared to navigate and embrace the anxieties that come with it. 4 approaches to change. Understanding the 4 schools of psychology that explain how people change. People change in different ways, and there are 4 schools of psychology that provide insight into these changes. The first is behavioral psychology, which rewards individuals for desired change and punishes them for undesirable change. The second school is cognitive psychology, which seeks to change behavior by reframing values, attitudes, and feelings. The third is psychodynamic psychology, which focuses on an individual's emotions and helps managers work with people during severe change. The fourth school is humanistic psychology, which emphasizes development, relationships, and potential. It is crucial to understand that personality determines an individual's ability to cope with and change during the change process. Any significant change may evoke feelings like denial, anger, bargaining, and depression, and each personality type may react differently to these shifts. Some people are thinkers, while others are feelers. Some are extroverts, while others are introverts. The personality types, along with the organization's history and the probable consequences of change, will affect the way people respond. In conclusion, managers must understand their assumptions about managing change and examine different possibilities offered by each school of psychology. While psychological theories provide guidance, each individual's personality traits play a central role in the change process. Thus, managers must understand how individuals perceive change and respond to them accordingly. Different types of teams. The article distinguishes between a group and a team, emphasizing the importance of understanding team dynamics to accomplish complex tasks. It then describes different types of teams, such as work teams, self-managed teams, parallel teams, project teams, and other variations. Each type has different structures, objectives, and risks associated with them. The article provides a clear illustration of each team type, without superficial language, to facilitate readers' comprehension. Team evolution and traps. Teams evolve over time, and with each stage come different challenges. These challenges include excessive dependence, fear, high hopes, and cocooning. To be effective, teams must have a mix of the personality types identified by the Myers-Briggs profile. Moreover, change affects teams, and it's crucial to consider how they will handle it and what resources they need to remain effective. This book recognizes the role that power, competing interests, and conflict have in organizational life, making the political metaphor interesting. This chapter provides practical insights for those leading or working in teams to remain effective and successful amidst change. Metaphors for change management. Change is a challenging but inevitable process for organizations. People have different perceptions of it, which often lead to conflict and misunderstanding, particularly between business and IT managers. The book introduces 4 metaphors that shed light on how organizations and managers approach change: organization as mechanism, organism, polis, and flux. The machine metaphor considers the organization as a rigid and predictable system that needs to be optimized and controlled through top-down management and standardized models. The organism metaphor views the organization as a living and adaptive entity with organic components that require care, nurturing, and collaboration. Polis metaphor emphasizes that organizations are political arenas where power struggles and coalitions shape decision-making and change. The flux metaphor regards the organization as a dynamic and evolving entity that emerges from constant tension and disorder, requiring flexible and enabling leadership. The book suggests that managers should be aware of their metaphorical assumptions and engage in open dialogue with their colleagues to understand the origins of their actions. Change management requires a deep understanding of the organization's culture, values, and goals, rather than a one-size-fits-all model. Leadership metaphors. Leaders must balance a history of success with the ability to admit mistakes and cope with failure. The most popular metaphor for leadership is the hero, but this may no longer be suitable for modern organizations. The connection may be more important than a unique and inspiring vision. Leaders must balance the inside and outside dimensions of leadership, their thoughts and behavior, with courage, decisiveness, and self-awareness. Finally, successful leaders know the importance of loyal and dedicated followers, recognizing their dependence. Leading successful organizational change. Effective leaders should pay attention to the 5 common types of strategic change while aligning all the elements of their organization's change plan and attuning it with the organization's character. In this regard, they should focus on developing critical mass by bringing the right people onto the change bandwagon and building their organization's competence at dealing with long-range, ongoing change. To succeed, leaders must listen, build relationships, and have a broader picture of things. They should also prioritize private reflection to avoid reacting spasmodically instead of strategically. Among the 5 types of strategic change, leaders need to address restructuring, as it has become a contemporary organization's crucial part. Likewise, they need to navigate mergers and acquisitions, ensuring effective communication and cultural sensitivity to succeed. Cultural change should be linked to the organization's vision and mission, and IT strategy aligns with the organization's strategy. By doing so, organizations can avoid cultural change as an isolated objective, which is meaningless without adequately supporting the achievement of strategic objectives.
As we wrap up our journey through Esther Cameron's insightful book, Making Sense of Change Management, we have gained a deeper understanding of the complex psychological aspects underpinning change, and the different strategies for successfully navigating these shifts within organizations. We've discussed various approaches from behavioral, cognitive, psychodynamic, and humanistic psychology, the role of teams and their development, and organizational metaphors that shape the way we view and approach change. Additionally, we explored the significance of leadership, communication, and strategic alignment in executing different types of change such as restructuring, mergers and acquisitions, cultural change, and IT transformation. In the end, remember that effective change management relies on self-aware leadership, dynamic adaptation, and strong, cohesive teams.